big news?
Yeah, Dan let me know this morning. Good guy award winner. I appreciate that. I know I've been out of the running the last couple of years, being on IR and stuff. And Joe Thomas kindly opened it up for me to, have a chance this year. And, I let Dan know this morning if there was a media good guy, I would have voted all you guys as a tie for first place.
Joe never had a good line like that.
It's no ad block, but it'll do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're another week closer, but how you kind of process and the fact that 0-16 is right around the corner.
This last weekend was tough. I thought we had a chance going into it with the game plan and stuff, and then we just didn't play well in the conditions. And there's been a lot of games where we've been in, and I've thought we've had a chance, and this weekend wasn't one of them. We didn't play well this weekend as a team, and it was tough to swallow. It was Christmas Eve, and you wanted to go home and celebrate and stuff, and I was just thinking to myself, like, man, that one sucked. And so we're another game closer now, and it's a division rival, Pittsburgh, and we've played them close recently. I know that, and I know they're clinched for the bye right now, but I know we've come into it with the same mindset, and we're putting together our best game plan, expecting their guys to go, and we're going to give it a shot this week.
Are you eager to, once this one's over, just like hit the reset button and get going, and it should be a better 2018?
Yeah, once the game's over, you go back and you look at the season, and you evaluate yourself as a team and personally what you can do to get better, and you kind of talk with Coach Jackson and see what their MO is for you this offseason and what they expect from you, and hopefully get a win. So the reset's not as bad, but man, I want to start winning some games. It's been tough. It's been a long time since we've felt that win in a regular season game, and I know we want to turn it around, and I know we're working to turn it around, and we can't do much about it this year, but going into next year, I know we're going to fight and scratch, and hopefully get some wins going.
What's the worst part of it? Is it Sunday night? Is it coming back to work Monday to watch the tape? What's the worst part?
I think it's for me, it's probably the hour right after the game, where especially the games where you have a chance. Like the Green Bay game where you felt like you were in it. Jacksonville, you lose by a field goal. Things of that nature where you're right there, and like it's been so long, for me that I've played in a game where we've won that I'm like, man, I just can't get that feeling back, and you want that feeling of winning, and you want that chance, and it's just tough. You're like, what can we do to make it happen? And it's been tough, and then you go out to the town and you see the fans that are disappointed, and you feel bad for them, and then your family's asking you about the games, and it's hard for you to be like, man, we just didn't play well enough. Things of that nature is just it's been tough. I think that little portion after the game, all my family's texting me, oh, good game. In reality, I'm like, man, screw this. Like, we just lost again.
What was the last, just for point of reference, what was the last game you played that they won?
Probably Tennessee, 2015, or Baltimore, 2015. One of those games.
McCown game?
Yeah, McCown game. That was it. McCown game in Baltimore that I've played in, that we won.
Hey, Joel, why is Hue Jackson still the right coach for this team?
I think he does a good job of inspiring the guys to play hard, to work hard. I think he's done a good job of keeping us motivated, to keep us playing hard. I think Sunday wasn't a great example. I think we got beat pretty good Sunday, but for the most part, we come out, we compete, we fight to win. He puts us in good positions to make plays, and it's been tough. And I think he's probably took the losing the hardest. Each week. No one expects to lose the way we've lost recently, and for him to bring his same energy, his same fight, the way he games plans each week is it's been impressive from that point of view, and he keeps the team together. I know people have been angry about certain things, and anytime you go 0-15 or how we started the season, there's going to be fights, there's going to be squirrels, but he's done a actually pretty good job of keeping everybody together, for the circumstances.
Yeah, when you think back to that first Pittsburgh game, there was an air of positivity after it, wasn't there? What were do you remember your feelings then, like on what this season could be?
Yeah, I was personally happy, to get back out there and play a game, and then as a team, I thought we were, a team that people were picking to to do pretty well this year, and we were close. You know, we were a drive or two away, and a stop or two here and there, and I thought we showed some good life that game, and we were hoping to turn it some wins, and it hasn't been that way. But I think if there's a positive to spin this way, if we can start well against Pittsburgh and then end well against Pittsburgh this year, maybe we can build that into something for next year.
What does the offensive line establish he might be able to carry into next year?
Yeah, I think the second half of the season, but you can even look at the stats a little bit. I think we've really improved our run blocking, especially inside. Me, JC, and Kevin have gotten a lot more comfortable with each other, and it takes a while. And it was probably mostly on me because I didn't practice with them in OTAs, minicamp, training camp. I was kind of banged up too, so it took a while for us to really gel. But JC's been a good leader of the group, and Spencer's gotten a lot of play now, and I think you can see, he can be a backup at guard, at tackle. When he needs to play, he can come in there and be a quality guy. And then Sean's got going for his 16th start as a second year, and so I think we're growing, and I think there's even more area to improve. Once we get Joe back and see how things can kind of grow from there.
The Haslams have, from a national perspective, everyone wants to speculate about Hue's future. But the Haslams have come out and said he's going to be back in 2018. Just, someone who's been through change after change, is there at least a calming feeling knowing going into this game that, Hue is going to be back next year, and that's not any type of drama that you have to follow heading into a season finale?
Yeah, and as players, we just go out there and try and play to the best of our abilities. And I think big decisions like that are made more on a grand scale. Most of the time when they're going to fire a coach or going to keep a coach, they've probably decided before week 17, unless it's a playoff thing, and this guy hasn't, made the playoffs or something like that. So I think as players, we just want to put our best foot forward and try and remember, dang, we put it together week 17 and we actually, played well and got a win. And he's our coach, we want to have his back, and we're going to fight for him. And I think the Haslams have had his back and said that he's going to be our guy. So as a team, we're thinking that way, and we're still working to try and impress the new GM and whatever else we bring in as a team.
Do you get envious when you watch a guy like Joe Hayden now at the end of the year getting ready to go to the playoff?
I'm happy for Joe personally. He's a good guy, and he was a good leader for the first few years I was here, and for him to have a shot in the playoffs is pretty cool, and I know he's pumped about it. And I think you're envious of all the guys. You're like, man, they get to keep playing games. They play in meaningful games late in the season, and since I've been here, we haven't had that, quite yet. But I know we're working to improve, and hopefully we'll be in that position next year.
Joel, there was, when Hugh made some comment about Croyle's 59-yard run last week. He took a lot of heat for it, saying that anybody could run through the hole, basically.
Yeah.
And then nationally, there's reports of, he may have lost the locker room, feathers were ruffled over that, whatever. Do you get any sense that was an issue with the players in the locker room, or he lost the locker room in any way?
No, honestly, I really didn't hear much about it. Of course, I heard the stories and stuff, but no one in the locker room really was specifically talking about the comments and stuff like that. And I know as a team, I think we get in positions where it's tougher for us to run the ball at some times, and I think it's his no-quit mentality that he thinks we can come back from these games. So he starts throwing the ball in the second half and, wants to make a run for it. But, on that play specifically, I think it was well blocked. I think it was well run. I think we had a good run call, and it made it happen. But I think the locker room is fine. I think guys are fighting. I think you guys would hear more stories if something was, really wrong in the locker room. And I think he's done a good job of keeping us together and really just getting us to play hard on a week-to-week basis.